The better we understand that beauty is capital and that beauty in itself is a multi-billion-dollar business, the faster we will be able to move and understand these conversations. Let's talk about it. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. What's going on, y'all? I'm on vacation right now, quick getaway, but I have some thoughts. Like, I have to be honest, seeing the conversation around Beyonce's video of her having her hair washed by her own, hair brand, Cécred, has caused a big conversation online, a lot of anti-blackness, texturism. Everything just jumped out. So for those who do not know, Beyonce has a new hair brand called Cécred, and it has had, mixed reviews. Some folks have said really good things, and some folks have said, hey, we can find these, same things in other things that are cheaper. I think the brand itself, from a brand perspective, it looks really good. It looks solid. I have some other thoughts, but I don't review hair and all the other stuff. I'm not a hair reviewer or any of that. I don't have the knowledge and all of that. But what I do understand and what I am learning and studying even more is anti-blackness, colorism, texturism, featurism. Like, these things matter to me because these are things that I have experienced throughout my life. And I have been on a journey of learning these things and unlearning the own biases that I have about these said things. I want to play a video for you all so we can understand the conversation and we can be honest, because some folks want to say, oh, y'all are just hating, y'all are mad, da da da. That's not what's happening. That is not what's happening. And I feel like this video sums up what the true conversation is, and we will get into it.
The way Beyonce just cleared you, bald-headed Florida Evans, good times head is great. We ain't never seen her hair. I ain't buying nothing. She got billionaire hair. She trying to show you how to get your natural hair like billionaire hair instead of $100 hair. She giving you the blueprint. Then she had the nerves to throw her hand all through the scalp and shit, cause she know how you still be hating after she did. Go play with your nappy-headed, bald-headed mama and get out of Beyonce's face.
Notice the things that were said in this video. Florida Evans, nappy head. Florida Evans, a fictional character that was on the show Good Times, who had a fro, who honestly looked like a lot of our mothers, a lot of our grandmothers, a lot of our aunts, and that's not a bad thing. Esther Rose, who even in the year 2024 is still dealing with anti-blackness after her death in 1998, needs to be talked about. The way that folks have talked about Florida Evans, that is Esther Rose. Like, Esther Rose is a dark-skinned black woman with 4C hair who, although played this character, but folks have taken their anti-blackness out on this character. And by talking about Esther Rose and dark-skinned black women and any black person who has hair texture like this, in this video you have this light-skinned, gym body, gay man talking about black women like having nappy hair and being jealous of this billion-dollar woman who can rub her hands through her hair. You hear clear texturism in his language. The way he's talking, he is saying the quiet part out loud. That people, and I looked at the tweet, and you had nothing but black gay men, unfortunately, because his audience is primarily black gay men. And honestly, you do not have to have a decent, even a decent black politic on social media to have a following. Black gay men were under this tweet gassing him up and saying, oh girl, you got them. This black gay man is making fun of black women for having 4C hair, talking about texturism, like all this anti-black language. In some of this video, he is saying that Beyonce is trying to teach you all how to have billion-dollar hair. I don't know what billion-dollar hair is, but I feel like when we think about rich, when we think about wealth, when we think about beauty, there is a clear definition of what that is, and Beyonce represents that. Now, you all know I have my critiques on Beyonce, and I've already talked about Beyonce and these like brands and these what I'm calling cash grabs and stuff. I haven't really touched too much on Cécred a little bit, but I might, depending on how I feel in this video, might talk about it a little bit more, and I might talk about it on Patreon where it's safe. We have videos like this which is clearly saying that dark-skinned folks with 4C hair should be the last people to talk about any of this. So it's not a safe place to have a conversation about this. Yes, I did see a couple of videos. You know, there was one video where this, you know, TikToker was saying that she believes that Beyonce is experiencing hair loss in the front because black folks, you know, unfortunately lose hair in the front. I know I do. I'm definitely up in this area. And she said that she believes that this hair right here is a lace wig, and if Beyonce is gonna come out here and do a video and you know, share herself or whatever, she has to be completely honest. You had another person on Twitter share that this, you know, business, this stuff that Beyonce is doing, she's able to do this because of desire. I'm kind of summarizing what they're saying, but ultimately what they're saying in these tweets is just that Beyonce is able to sell this because she is a light-skinned woman, and some of the stuff is just like, some of the folks did jump out the window. One thing I did notice in these conversations is that there seems to be we are tolerating conversations about anti-blackness, texturism, futurism, and colorism, because the moment that people bring it up, it's already like, oh girl, here you go again. That response and that level of thinking lets me know that folks are truly not trying to understand these systems, because it's already like, girl, we don't care. I want to know what is the bad that comes with having conversations about colorism, texturism, futurism, and anti-blackness. I want to, what bad comes from that? Like, people are tired of hearing it. It doesn't get talked about enough. We don't see it on TV. We see anti-blackness clearly on display. We see racism clearly on display. We see it all the time, but we don't want to see folks talk about it. We don't want to hear it. Oh, here y'all go again. Here y'all go again. Like, oh my God, we can't, like, y'all sound like the same white folks who say, oh, here you go with the race card. Like, y'all sound just like them. But I'm not surprised, because, you know, sometimes the oppressed become, yeah, that's how that works. We're already like dealing with folks who are tired of these conversations. They're tired of their fave that they have a one-sided parasocial relationship with being critiqued with mild critiques. A tweet that got 8 retweets and 15 likes, people jumped and dragged them, and you had folks, because two of the folks who talked about this on Twitter and one on TikTok, both of them were black women, black dark-skinned women, and black dark-skinned women with a specific hair texture. It was easy for them to call them ugly. Y'all reinforce the idea of what beauty is while trying to protect your fave that you have a one-sided parasocial relationship with. You all resort to anti-black language because you all understand the system that is working. Beyonce is able to market and sell this product because of desire, because of beauty. There's no other way around it. That's how it works. That's why we have models come out in clothes to sell the image of beauty, not necessarily the clothes, because we have seen plenty of examples of the clothes are not what is being sold. It's the image of beauty. We all want to be beautiful. We all want to be beautiful. Maybe some folks, quote unquote, don't, but when I say all of us, I'm talking about the system that benefits from us wanting and desiring to be beauty. The system that has us going to a gym in the middle of a pandemic. The system that has us doing all of these things to lose weight, to appear to be thin. The same system that has people saying, oh, although I was in the hospital or I was sick with the stomach flu for a week, I lost 5-6 pounds. Or taking these specific diet pills that are really laxatives to lose weight. This is the system. This is it. Beyonce, for all intensive purposes, may be trying to sell a product for black folks and get into the market to offer something to black folks that they need or whatever. But she is able to do that because of beauty. You all say all the time that Beyonce is very beautiful. You talk about how she doesn't age, she looks the same, her body, you all talk about this all the time. So it's not a coincidence that she's able to sell beauty. Like, we see a lot of folks moving towards this. We've seen a lot of influencers move towards this. They were selling makeup and doing makeup. Now they're doing fitness and stuff. Now, continuously moving towards what beauty is in different type of ways, because there is capital when a beautiful person is, you know, benefiting from desired capital, selling stuff. Even in the craze of all of the jockstrap and underwear caves, who all of them have a business of selling jockstraps and underwear and you know, all this stuff, which I love. I love jockstrap. No shade, y'all know. But only specific type of bodies are on these websites. Only specific type of, you know, bodies and people receive these, you know, campaigns to work with these brands to sell desire, because psychologically, we want to look like the people in these pictures. We want to look like these thin, gym body, desirable folks. That is why in some countries, there is a market to sell bleaching cream. We seem to think because we don't do that, we don't do it in different type of ways. We do it. We do it. These companies are making billions of dollars off of our own hatred of ourselves. And I think it is okay for people to be critical of why Beyonce is selling this product. Like, why is she jumping into this market and coming up with something maybe 6-7 months from now, like after talking about it? I don't understand how critical thinking for folks is pissing people. I just really don't get it. Like, oh, everything's a think piece. If you think that is a written think piece and folks are really research and talk about it, like, you're very limited. Very limited. As someone who watched hour-long video essays a lot and, you know, enjoy reading critiques on things, some of the stuff I see on Twitter is nowhere near a think piece or whatever. Like, y'all are using this word think piece to dismiss critical thinking because it challenges you and your relationship with whatever it is at that time. Your relationship with your quote unquote faves. And you know what? I'm not even gonna say faves anymore because I feel like that's too soft. I feel like we really just need to name it. Y'all parasocial relationships, your one-sided parasocial relationships that you have with these artists who, no shade, are using that to sell you products, sell you things. You all are joking about going broke and having normal money, none, zip, but you have to because this is your quote unquote fave. You have to, like, girl, you asking for more money. Y'all are joking about going in debt to support this. Like, folks are joking about it. I cannot wrap my mind around it. Like, I can't. Folks are online defending Beyonce, who is an alleged billionaire, from critiques online where Beyonce does not allegedly be on social media like that, doesn't, you know, isn't getting any like threats that are to her life or anything, just conversations. Like, Beyonce has millions and millions of folks who are supporting her, millions of people who are showing up to her shows, supporting her, doing all this other stuff, purchasing, all types of stuff, but a couple of thousand people talking and having conversation. Instead of y'all letting the tweets go into the void, y'all are just want to silence it and stamp it out. Like, shut up. And y'all have been doing this for how long and what's going on? Nothing has happened. Y'all bring more attention to it. But you know what? I enjoy when you all do, because the anti-blackness comes out just like in this video. Because now you have this light-skinned, thin, gym-bodied person coming in this video talking about y'all look like Florida Evans, that's why y'all mad. Basically, like, he summed it up perfectly. This is why y'all mad, because y'all are ugly like Esther Roll. And it's heartbreaking to me to honestly hear y'all talk about and see y'all talk about someone like Esther Roll, who was a black actress, like, you know, just doing her thing. But because she is not desirable, you all feel like y'all can talk about that because you all inherently know what is beauty and what isn't beauty. He said the quiet part out loud. And nobody has labeled this gym body, light-skinned person as miserable, angry, all of that, because that is only reserved for niggas who look like me and those black women with their mild critiques of Beyonce. So when we talk about desire, this is how it works, because this person, there's no massive, campaign to get this person's account taken down. There's not a massive anything to get this person to drag. It's not, because y'all don't see him as a disgusting, grotesque individual because of the way he looks. Once again, desire. Once again, defending a billionaire who hasn't said anything to him, to our knowledge, hasn't whatever. Honestly, Beyonce wouldn't even like or enjoy a video of her being defended like that. She would not be here for that type of conversation anyway. She would not. And I think that people have every right to talk about certain things. Yes, it may make us feel uncomfortable. Yes, so some of the stuff, some people, did jump out the window. But I don't understand how 2 or 3 people jumping out the window saying something has caused this much controversy. I don't get it. But that's because we're already at our limit of how much we want to talk about these things, these systems. And we damn sure do not want to talk about it when it comes to our one-sided parasocial relationships with these celebrities who do not know us. Let me say this. There is a reason why Beyonce is washing her hair and, doing this, Beyonce, like I've said before in my video on Patreon, check it out. Is Beyonce broke or is Beyonce greedy? Beyonce is not going to be able to do the thing that she did in the past, where just dropping stuff and, hoping people buy it. She's going to have to sell us, because a lot of us have become a little bit more aware and knowledgeable of how celebrities sell us products and stuff. What is it about this product besides the fact that you're a celebrity selling it to us? We need to see more than that. Celebrities can't do that as strong, because celebrity is still there, but people have been more critical of celebrity and how they sell us things. So you can't just throw stuff and say, hey, y'all buy it. So we've never seen this side of Beyonce, but folks are defending Beyonce and say, oh, she give us a little bit, now y'all feeling some type of way. She came out and she washed her hair, even when she tries to be, whatever, she tries to be, human, y'all still don't like it. How can a multi-million-dollar business or an alleged billionaire be human? Explain that to me. We already know that, folks who hoard wealth are unethical. We've been talking about that. We've been having a conversation about that. So explain to me how someone, is being human or sharing more of themselves, and it comes with a commercial. She's not sharing anything with us. She's selling a product. That's it. Once again, the one-sided parasocial relationship has you thinking that this celebrity is interacting with you and, sharing themselves with you, when they are honestly just selling a product to you. That's it. No ifs, ands, buts about it. They're selling a product to you. This is how things like this work, and I believe that some of us feel like we are so smart that we are immune to things like this. Branding and marketing has been around for the longest. It has not changed at all. There is a way to sell things to people to make people feel like they have to purchase stuff. And I have no issue with folks being critical of people, celebrities selling stuff in a day and age where a lot of us are talking about not having the money to pay our bills, and celebrities are coming here not offering us something that is really useful, that can, whatever. It is something that is already out. There's all types of shampoos and all the other stuff that are already on the market. It's already that. So why? Something that I have been asking myself, and I want other people to do as well, is think about who is allowed to sell products to us. Who are the people that companies are giving money to or partnering with to sell things to a underserved community. I think about, give you an example, I think about Fenty Beauty and Rihanna, how Rihanna was praised for, making a company that was catering towards all skin types, like dark skinned folks, because we have seen the beauty industry not, offer a lot of products to folks with darker skin. And someone who is not dark skinned was the face of that. Now we see Beyonce, who has a specific hair texture that is now saying, I'm able to sell this product that is for all hair textures. And even 4C hair, and Beyonce does not have 4C hair. And it doesn't mean that Rihanna or Beyonce are quote unquote bad people, but it's just who is allowed to be the face of the thing that is supposed to sell to underserved folks. How is it that you are the person that is the face of this when you don't have the same experience? Like, you don't. I think about that. It's just, who is allowed to be the person in the face of these things? And again, like I said earlier, there were some tweets that, I was questioning, like, okay, what does this mean? Specifically this tweet, this isn't 4C hair, and why can't we see Beyonce's hair a natural without the silk press? There's a subliminal message to black women that we can have long, lustrous hair too, and that's a Eurocentric take. This tweet specifically was not received well. Like, this Twitter user received a lot of backlash and a lot of anti-black language and stuff was, garnered towards her. And she continued to say, this whole commercial seems dated and deserves a thread on the commercialization of black hair textures within the confines of a white capitalist hierarchy, which deems long flowing hair as the default characterization of beauty. Beyonce really is the epitome of black capitalism. How that works with black texture is still through the lens of Eurocentric standards. It's also very gendered. I'm gonna have to be honest, like, as uncomfortable as, this tweet is making folks, this person is making points. I don't agree with everything, why we can't see her without a silk press, I think what this person is just, saying, like, again, going back to the video that we saw earlier where that person had said bald-headed, nappy-headed, again, reinforcing that this is not beauty, this doesn't fit beauty standards, and this does. Through a Eurocentric, it is that. It is definitely that. And I know, like, folks were really upset at this person. People were trying to say that this person has a parasocial relationship by critiquing celebrities. That's not how that works. That's not how it works. A person it can be something else, but a person being critical of a celebrity, whatever, like, and that type, it's not. And I think what the issue is that some folks didn't want to understand it, and they didn't understand it. But again, I'm looking at the tweet, this isn't 4C hair, and why can't we see Beyonce's hair natural without the silk press? There's a subliminal message to black women that we can have long, lustrous hair too, and that's a Eurocentric take. I think it is somewhat baked in. The first sentence or two, not really feeling too much, but I think there's a subliminal message to black women that we can have long, lustrous hair too, and that's a Eurocentric take. I agree that it might not have been directly intended, but it is there that you too can have this. And going back, like, when we look at campaigns and commercials and stuff, like from 30, 50, 70 years ago, you saw white actors in blackface and stuff, like, everybody did not think that was wrong. Like, some folks still don't think it's wrong today. It manifests into different things. So we think just because we go back and we see these things like, oh, that's not what's happening here, that, oh, we will never do that again. It just shows up in different forms. To me, I can see how this critique fits. And I know folks are upset, like, at this person or whatever. And I'm curious, like, I want to hear more. Like, someone responded and said, Eurocentric take, dear Erica, black women can and do have long, lustrous hair. You should have left this in the draft. Yes, black women do have long, lustrous hair, but we understand what is considered long hair. Like, our obsession with long hair is definitely a thing. It is definitely gendered. Like you know, this person said, it is gendered. We even seen as recently Jordan talking about her experience dealing with alopecia on Martha's Vineyard Summer House. She talked about black women hair being currency. It is a thing. It is a thing for you to have long hair. And we saw that, that's why I put that video in here earlier, because we see that. Like, he is saying negative things about black women with froze. He's talking about Esther Rose, and he said nappy headed. Like, he is saying the quiet part out loud for a lot of us. And I think it's making us uncomfortable because we truly don't want to believe that this stuff can be true and that we are playing into it a little bit. And I think that's why you see so many people lashing out. That's my thoughts. That's how I feel. You know, and I think if people really just wasn't feeling the tweet or whatever, I don't think that this dog pile on this person was necessary. Folks could have just blocked them and moved on like they do other things. But people made a statement. They wanted to make a statement. And a lot of you all, unfortunately, are on the side of folks who are calling this woman nappy head and saying all these things. So we have to really think about like that. That's all I got. Let me know what you think in the comments. Talk to you later. Bye.